Good morning. My name is Professor Ellington. I'm a professor at a quasi Ivy League school, and I'm here to share some business strategy with you when entering into a lease contract. Many people I talk to call me and ask me, what are the reasonable tenets of a lease contract? Remember, two parties enter into a lease contract. Remember, the renter enters into the contract and they make certain promises to pay rent in a timely manner, and the landlord is the second party in lease contract. So each party has rights. The landlord is not the only one who has rights. So review these lease contracts, and they are based on state law. If you don't quite know how to read the contracts, you might look around on the internet and get extra advice. But remember, a lease is based on standard law. A lease is something that's agreed upon, it's in writing, and watch out for additional clauses. So renters, read again for out of the ordinary clauses. Some of these clauses could look like repossession of property if rent is paid late or not on time, 24 to 48 hour eviction disclaimer. By the way, that's illegal. It does take 30 days to lawfully evict a renter. Many other written clauses in a bylaw lease come into play, but make sure it's a written clause. Now, standard business policy. Where I went to school, I fought off on both sides. Okay, so this is personal experience as a landlord, personal experience as a tenant. One thing any tenant must do is always pay by check. You can pay by a personal check, a bank check, a money order, and make clear copies. So it's a trail. It's a paper trail. Here's an example of something terrible that happened to a renter who paid in cash. A ways back, somebody came to me and a landlord offered a 10% discount to an unknowing tenant. So the tenant paid the landlord $2,400 in cash. Now, this tenant had not moved in yet. So when the tenant came to move in, the landlord had the 3 months rent and no paper trail. That tenant was burnt for $2,400, and it's strictly a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter unless the police see some sort of embezzlement or fraud type of thing. So that renter was simply burned for $2,400 by paying cash. Okay, once you're moved in, everything's snugly, I recommend you take pictures. And a lot of times when you take pictures, you're talking about, the condition of the unit when you moved in. Apartment complexes seem to have a very comprehensive checklist of the condition of the apartment, and you can use that. And I also recommend make all the utilities in your name. God forbid somebody shuts off the utilities. Okay, and the next thing I see is forced move out or illegal eviction. Landlords have been known to take the eviction process into their own hands. They just simply say you must leave in 3 days. They post some fancy looking paperwork, which you might be confused by. They could threaten you, bodily harm type of thing, or they could repossess your stuff. Okay, so these are all things that landlords will do to get you out at their convenience. This is a 10-part series we're going to do on landlord-tenant business strategy. So please don't hesitate to call us at 1-800-555-1212 or subscribe to my channel. It is a free service at this point. We're helping renters. We're helping folks understand business contracts. Have a great day. Come back and see me next week, and I'll have something more to keep you out of trouble.